I just wanted to show you this little area. It's a really good example of one of my passions, which is learning about the relationship between history and ecology, how people have changed land and landscape, but also how we've interacted with the wildlife. And this is a very simple example, but very easy to spot when you're out on maybe on one of your nearly wild camping trips. So we've got a wall just beside me. And to that side of me are lots of old oak trees. And it's very obviously been a woodland for quite some time. And yet here in front, we've got all these small trees, mainly birch. So that's come up much, much more recently. There's obviously been some sort of a field here in the past with the wall around it. And then the field isn't being used now for livestock, so the birch have then been able to get away because there's no grazing. And you can see on the horizon behind that there's much older trees again. So obviously this field area was a patch on the edge of the woodland or in the woodland where it was being managed for grazing livestock until relatively recently. And then you say, well, how old are those trees? And therefore you can get a feel of how long ago their field stopped being used. Now, obviously, there's lots of intricacies and lots of more complexities to these things that you can start to learn about. But this is a really good example of starting to identify things in the landscape as you go for a walk, maybe on the place that you're camping, or maybe somewhere nearby when you're camping out in this case, somewhere on the west of the UK, out in these lovely woodlands.